Hello everybody, this is Stephanie. I am back, but I have a recipe this time. How about that? Listen, my thought was that I was going to make these lasagna roll-ups, but then I got busy, so I was like, okay. Then I also saw a video on a recipe, not a video, on Facebook, and I figured that I could do this in my Ninja Possible cooker. So I'm going to show you this in my Ninja Possible cooker. Not only that, most of the ingredients I had already in the house. So I didn't have to go shopping and all that stuff. It was already here. It's going to be dinner time soon and I need to eat early. You guys know I'm on my trying to take care of my diabetes kind of thing going on. So I am on Manjaro 5 milligrams. So later on tonight, I will be taking my shot, and I'll probably take that too. That'll be the second shot that I'll be taping. But right now, I need to get my dinner going, okay? So this is what I'm gonna make. I'm gonna just tell you what the name of what it seems to be. It's called One Pot Creamy Beef and Shells. So I have in one pot, it's definitely perfect for the Ninja. That one pot thing is perfect for the Ninja. So I'm gonna do it in there. Like I said, everything I had already in the house. So that was a good thing. And it shouldn't take that long to make, and I'll be ready to eat my dinner on time. That's most important to me. Okay, guys, I will be right back. Okay, guys, I'm going to show you what the recipe calls for. So it calls for a pound of ground beef. This is about 1.25 pounds, maybe, of ground beef. It calls for a tablespoon of some olive oil. I have this. This is an Italian. This is Benzino, a natural Italian. There's some herbs in this, and it's infused with herbs, which I always like this oil, and it's olive oil. So I'm going to put some of that in there. There's a small onion. Well, my onion wasn't so small. This is my onion. I don't know. I may use it all, I might not. We'll see. It also calls for 2 cloves of garlic. I have some garlic in here. I'll use some of this. You know, guys, I hardly ever measure stuff. So why start now? So then I have, let's see, it says some salt and pepper. I'm just going to use some adobo light, give it a little extra seasoning. And it says 2 cups of beef broth. So guys, I'm going to put some better than bouillon in to give, and some water to give it my 2 cups. And it says a cup of heavy cream. I don't have heavy cream in the house, but I do have some half and half. So I'm going to put this in. So that's how I'm going to handle it, because I do not have that in the house. So you have to improvise sometime. And that's how I'm going to handle this. It calls for 2 cups of uncooked shell pasta. I've had this in my pantry. This is some shell pasta, small shells. Maybe it's 2 cups, but whatever it is, we're using it, okay? It calls for a cup of shredded cheese. I do have some shredded cheese here, some sharp cheese right here, shredded cheese, shredded cheddar, but I got sharp cheddar. And I also have in the refrigerator some of this shredded mac and cheese blend. May throw some of that in there too. It calls for a 1/2 cup of frozen peas. I did have that in the freezer. There we go. And I may put it all in there, and parsley for garnish, okay? So that's what I'm putting in, because that's what it calls for. So now I am going to start my Ninja over there. Just hold on. I am turning my Ninja on. So let's see, we're gonna put it on start. And I'm actually gonna put it on saute right there. That is saute. Put it on high, and we are going to press start. I don't know how. Well, I'm going to press start right now. So we're going to let this get warm and get hot enough for me to start sauteing everything. And I will be back when it's there. Okay, guys. It made that nice foodie jingle that it does. And it took every bit of 5 minutes to warm this thing up. And I could feel it. That is, I could feel that it's warm right here. So it's warm. So the first thing it says is to add, I'll tell you what it says to add, and you'll see what I'm doing. It said to add a tablespoon of olive oil. So I'm going to put some olive oil in here. That's how I do it. Don't measure much. All right, then it says to put, let's see, add the chopped onions and the minced garlic and saute for 2 or 3 minutes. Okay, so here's the onions. I honestly think that this may be a little too much, but we'll see. I got room for them. Okay. And you know what? I'm gonna add them all. What the heck? Why waste it? I'll just add it. I come from the school of, I come from the school where my mother, she didn't waste anything, nothing, So even if it was a little too much, even if it was a little much, my mother did not waste anything. So that is what we're doing here. I don't want to waste a thing. So here we go, and then I'm going to put some garlic in. You know how I do. This much garlic. So first of all, I like garlic. So that should be okay amount right there. Then, what I'm going to do is use the spoon that comes with it. And I'm going to just let it saute until the onions are translucent. All right. Wasting stuff. It's a great idea not to waste stuff. As much as things cost these days, you shouldn't really be wasting things. Okay? So I'm going to let that get translucent. In the meanwhile, let me see what else my next step is. Then I got to add the ground beef into the pot. Okay, guys, this looks translucent to me. Here we go. Yes, definitely translucent. Next, I'm going to put in the ground beef. And this ground beef, you can see, is 4 ounces of it is 21 grams of protein. Yay. That's what I'm talking about. And I figure that this can maybe feed 4 people. So that would be great. Yeah. Yep. It's saying that this recipe can feed 4 people. So this is all good. And here's my chopper. Y'all know about my chopper. It's a great little tool. And I'm chopping. It's a good pot for this particular recipe. This could also work with your Speedy if you have one. The Speedy will work well with this also, there's no doubt. This is just a little bigger, a vessel than the Speedy is, but the Speedy could work better. This is good, not better, but just as well. If you have a Speedy, you're already in good shape. I can do this recipe in a Speedy for sure. And actually, with the Speedy, I would maybe put the cheese on top or something, and then you could let it melt on top, which gives it this extra depth of flavor. So it's not as big as this, but the Speedy is a definite beautiful piece of equipment. I'll tell you right now. So I'll be back when this browns up. All right, guys. The next step is to take any extra oil out of it and drain it off. But it's not really, as you can see, it's not too much oil in this particular ground beef left, no fat left over. So I'm going to go to what it says next, which is to add the Italian seasoning in. How much did this say? I'll tell you what it says. I'll tell you what I'm doing. The Italian seasoning, the black pepper, and the salt. It's a teaspoon of the Italian seasoning, a half a teaspoon of salt, and a quarter teaspoon of the black pepper. So this is what I'm going to do. As you know, I am just eyeballing what I always do. I'm not measuring. I don't, most of the time with recipes, they just need a little extra. So I just give it extra in the first place. And if I got to cut back, then I will. So I gave it some Italian seasoning. I'm going to give it some onion powder right here. Garlic, a granulated onion powder. I'm going to do that too. Give it some of that. That's not on the recipe. That's just that I think it belongs in here. So I will put that in there. Also, I'm going to put some granulated garlic in here too. Put a little of that in here. A nice garlicky dish. All right. Some granulated garlic in here. And I'm going to put in some adobo. There we go. That's adobo. I'm going to put some of that in. Adobo light, not the original with all the salt. Just a little of that. That's all. That's that. So, we said to add that. Then says pour the beef broth in the beef broth, heavy cream, bringing the mixture to a gentle boil. So, with that, what I'm going to do is mix this up. Mix it up. I'm going to add in. I'm not going to make it into the whole thing. I'm just going to put some in, and you can do what you want. You can use beef broth if you want, but I have better than bouillon in the house, so just mix that up a little bit. So keep going. Keep getting nice. Then I'm gonna take a couple of, at least a spoonful, at least that much. This is like a tablespoon from your cutlery. That's like a tablespoon. Use that much. And you know what, guys? When I grew up, you didn't have all these extra gadgets. You knew what you got in the house, and that's what my mother cooked with. Like a little of this and a little of that, and most of the time it came out perfect and almost always the same. So that's not too bad. So now I see that's the better than bouillon. I'm gonna stir that up a little bit in here before I actually put the water in. So, and the cream in. So first I'm gonna put the water in. And that is 2 cups of water. So here we go. It says bring it to a boil. And it also says I think there is a cup of heavy cream. So I suppose I will do a cup at least. Maybe I will do maybe a little bit more than a cup. Maybe a cup and a quarter of half and half, because I don't have any heavy cream, and it'll be all right. I'm sure it'll be okay. So I'll put this in. And what else does it say at that point? Let's see. Pour the broth in and bring the mixture to a gentle boil. So we're waiting until it comes up to a boil before we put the pasta in. So hold on. I'll be right back, and I will show you that I'm going to put the pasta in. All right, I'm back, and it is definitely at a boil right here. Yes, it's definitely at a boil right there. So, and as I'm sitting here thinking about this recipe, I think this won't hurt it at all. A little bit of Lee and Perrin's Worcestershire sauce. We'll put a little bit of that in there too. Give it a nice little extra, I think. I didn't even taste this recipe, but I do think it ain't gonna hurt it. Now I got these shells. The next thing goes into these shells. And it says 2 cups. I got no idea how much is in here, but I don't know. I'm thinking it's at least 2 cups. Yeah, I think this is a cup. All right. This is 1 cup. Oops. That's 1 cup right there. It says 2 cups. And I think by the time I get to 2 cups, I'll be nearly done with this bag. And I would. So I was pretty close. This is 2 cups. And I'm going to finish it off. But see, that's all that's left. I'm not wasting it. Put it in. There we go. Not wasting that at all. All right. So, stir this in. No, the other thing I think this stuff could use is some ketchup. I just think it could use some ketchup. And I may put some in here. I'll wait. If I need some, I'll add it, I think. No, you know what? Let me give it a squirt of ketchup right now. I think it needs ketchup. Yo, excuse me. I do my thing. And I think you could use a little bit of ketchup. Just a little. Help that out. So there we go. So now it is boiling. Definitely boiling here. Let's see if I have to put the cheese in now or later. Let's see what it says. Okay. The pasta needs to cook about 15 minutes until it is al dente. So I'm going to, I can cover it. I can cover it up. Let it cook like that. You know what? I'm not going to cover it up. I'm just going to let it cook till it's al dente. I'm going to put a timer on and I'll be back. Alright guys, you know, this has been cooking on simmer, a little high simmer, but it's been on simmer for, I don't know, less than 10 minutes. The directions in the recipe say 15 minutes, 12 to 15 minutes. But you gotta remember something, with this pot, it cooks faster. So for me, I came back and I see, whoa, all the water's out. That's what happens with this pot. All the water is out. I think this is al dente, but I put some water back in there, as you could just see, because it just, that's how this pot cooks. So I wanted to add a little bit more water anyway. While this is doing this, I think I'm going to add a little, we'll just make sure that's al dente. Hold on. I really do think it is, but let me just get you see a shell? Let me see. Yeah, this is fine. And I still have this spoon. That was my timer. See, I had to have water, so tells you something. You gotta watch this pot. This pot really, really, really cooks. It really, really does. That's what it does. So I tasted that. Actually, I tasted the noodle, but actually that tastes pretty good. And I added some ketchup too. I think what I'm going to do is add a little bit more ketchup. I think I'm going to add a little more ketchup. I think that's going to do good with it. And it's still got some water left in here. So a little bit more ketchup in here for me. And also a little bit more Lee and Perrin Worcestershire sauce. As they say, what's your sister name, or whatever they want to call it, sauce. But Worcestershire sauce. is really good. You know, it gives your food, especially your beef, a nice flavor. So I add that in here too. And that's what I do. I'm cooking and tasting. That's what I do. So that's how I know, because I'm cooking and tasting. I am a home cook. I'm not a chef. I don't call myself a chef. I just call myself a home cook. And that's good. That is good. And I'm able to eat my food. So the next thing it calls for is, let's see, add the cheese until it's melted and the peas. So the peas is supposed to be a half a cup of peas. I don't know. That's what the whole thing's going into. Half a cup. Why? Okay. This is 10 ounces of peas. So half of a cup would be 5 ounces. Well, I'm going to put the whole thing in. The whole thing. What the heck? Like I said, I don't want to waste that. So why not? Put the peas in. That's for sure. And I'm going to put the peas in before I put the cheese on. I just want it to like really warm through. Quite frankly, I'm going to put a little bit more water in here too. Or actually, I could put a little bit more half in. Maybe a little creamier. So I think I'm going to actually add a little bit more half and half. And this is eyeballing. I'm going to add just a little bit more. See, that calms it down. That's cold, so. That calms it down. All right, but it won't take long. It'll start again. So I just want to let me get this all over. Stir it up. And then it says how much cheese? It says a cup of shredded cheese. Well, I've eaten some of this cheese. This is 16 ounces. I'm going to put the whole thing in because it's probably a cup. So I'm going to add the whole thing right up in here and let it melt. Right in. I'm going to stir it up, let it melt. Let it melt, let it melt, let it melt. Not only am I doing this, I do think I also am, like I told you, I had some mac and cheese blend. So I'm going to add that in too. Come on, girl. So yeah, I have some mac and cheese blend. I'm going to add a little of that too. It's got mozzarella and this one has, it has indulgent blend of New York sharp cheddar and American cheeses with a hint of Swiss. So that's not mozzarella, that's Swiss. Okay, so that's cool. All right, I'm gonna mix this in. I'm gonna mix it in. Yo, it's ready. It's just definitely almost ready. So, because as you see, the cheese is melting up good. So that's gonna be dinner. I think that I'm having at least 25 grams of protein because of the meat and because of the meat and the cheese. The cheese got 6 and a normal, but this one has, yeah, they both got, the protein is 6 on the cheese. So yeah, I'm maybe close to 30. It's just these little shells that, you know, with the starch thing going on. But it is what it is. I'm going to have some, and I will show you a plate. I don't even have to put the top on today. I don't need it. One pot meal. There you go. I'll be back. Okay, guys, this is a version of a hamburger helper. That's really what it is, in my opinion, with a little peas in it, which you can do what you want and how you like a hamburger helper. But this is a version of a hamburger helper to me. It does have a little bit more pasta than I probably should be eating. So I put this in a smaller bowl right there. And I still should have, I'm not going to say I have 25, 30 grams of protein, but I might have more, like at least 15, maybe 20. All right, guys, here I am. I got it. This will be probably my dinner. As you can see, got pasta, it got cheese, it got beef, it got peas. So you don't need anything else. You really could have a salad with it if you like, but this is going to be my dinner. And this is the first time I made this from that recipe with my own stuff in it. Anyway, I'm going to show you what it tastes like. And what is it? It's not 5 o'clock yet. Yay. I think I can eat this. And it's good. I like it. It's good. And there'll be leftovers. And I think Perry's going to like it too. So I can make something that I could eat, that Perry could eat. I do see some meat in here, which that's the most important thing. There is some meat in here, so I'm getting some protein. And maybe getting a little bit more with the starch, but what did I eat today? 2 pieces of bread with butter, my keto bread. I ate a yogurt. I had half a banana. My yogurt has some strawberries in it. I think that's all I ate. I think that's all I ate. So I think I could eat this. I may get some more. I don't know. I don't know. I may have a little bit more protein, maybe in a shake or something a little bit later on before I take my shot. But I don't know if you're going to see this before my shot or after my shot. But you're going to see my shot too today. So I'll talk to you later. I'll take the shot around 8:30-ish or something like that. But here I am. I'm trying to get back on the game. Today I actually had to get up early, really early for me, and I need to keep doing that kind of early because it was about 8:30. So 8:30 I need to be up. I really do. I had to go downstairs and because my elliptical, my treadmill the socket wasn't working right because it had a G something on it. So the guy had to change it, and I had to go down there and I had to use it to make sure it works. So therefore, I was up. Been up all day, been doing different things, and I even got a video done. So guys, I love you. Please follow me. Please comment. Please comment in my GLP-1 also, and all my videos. Please comment, please like, please share, and please keep sticking with me. I'm trying, I'm moving, I'm trying. I am trying. So I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye-bye.